but people themselves alter so much, that there is something new to be observed in them forever. There are few people whom I really love, and still fewer of whom I think well. The more I see of the world, the more am I dissatisfied with it, and every day confirms my belief of the inconsistency of all human characters, and of the little dependence that can be placed on the appearance of merit or sense. Those who do not complain are never pitied. For what do we live, but to make sport for our neighbors, and laugh at them in our turn? Nothing is more deceitful than the appearance of humility. It is often only carelessness of opinion, and sometimes an indirect boast. It is happy for you that you possess the talent of flattering with delicacy. May I ask whether these pleasing attentions proceed from the impulse of the moment, or are the result of previous study? A lady's imagination is very rapid, it jumps from admiration to love, from love to matrimony in a moment. There is nothing so bad as parting with one's friends. One seems too forlorn without them. Your defect is a propensity to hate everybody. And yours, he replied with a smile, is willfully to misunderstand them. There are people, who the more you do for them, the less they will do for themselves. One half of the world cannot understand the pleasures of the other. I cannot speak well enough to be unintelligible. There is nothing I would not do for those who are really my friends. I have no notion of loving people by halves, it is not my nature. Silly things do cease to be silly if they are done by sensible people in an impudent way. You are mistaken, said he gently, that is not good company, that is the best. Seldom, very seldom, does complete truth belong to any human disclosure, seldom can it happen that something is not a little disguised or a little mistaken. I wish, as well as everybody else, to be perfectly happy, but, like everybody else, it must be in my own way. The person, be it gentleman or lady, who has not pleasure in a good novel, must be intolerably stupid. I declare after all there is no enjoyment like reading. How much sooner one tires of anything than of a book. When I have a house of my own, I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library. In vain have I struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. It is a truth universally acknowledged, that a single man in possession of a good fortune, must be in want of a wife. Vanity and pride are different things, though the words are often used synonymously. A person may be proud without being vain. Pride relates more to our opinion of ourselves, vanity to what we would have others think of us. There is a stubbornness about me that never can bear to be frightened at the will of others. My courage always rises at every attempt to intimidate me. I could easily forgive his pride, if he had not mortified mine. The distance is nothing when one has a motive. My good opinion once lost is lost forever. Oh, Lizzie! Do anything rather than marry without affection. Nobody can tell what I suffer. But it is always so. Those who do not complain are never pitied. But people themselves alter so much, that there is something new to be observed in them forever. Could there be finer symptoms? Is not general incivility the very essence of love? Do not give way to useless alarm, though it is right to be prepared for the worst, there is no occasion to look on it as certain. One cannot be always laughing at a man without now and then stumbling on something witty. Do not consider me now as an elegant female intending to plague you, but as a rational creature speaking the truth from her heart. I am only resolved to act in that manner, which will, in my own opinion, constitute my happiness, without reference to you, or to any person so wholly unconnected with me. A person who can write a long letter with ease, cannot write ill. A person may be proud without being vain. Pride relates more to our opinion of ourselves, vanity to what we would have others think of us. It is very often nothing but our own vanity that deceives us. Yes, you know enough of my frankness to believe me capable of that. After abusing you so abominably to your face, I could have no scruple in abusing you to all your relations. It sometimes is a disadvantage to be so very guarded. If a woman conceals her affection from the object of it, she may lose the opportunity of fixing him. In vain I have struggled. It will not do. My feelings will no longer be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. You shall not, for the sake of one individual, change the meaning of principle and integrity, nor endeavor to persuade yourself or me, that selfishness is prudence, and insensibility of danger security for happiness. We can all begin freely, a slight preference is natural enough, but there are very few of us who have heart enough to be really in love without encouragement. Everything nourishes what is strong already. Maybe it's that I find it hard to forgive the follies and vices of others, or their offenses against me. My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever. The wisest and the best of men, nay, the wisest and best of their actions, may be rendered ridiculous by a person whose first object in life is a joke. There certainly was some great mismanagement in the education of those two young men. One has got all the goodness, and the other all the appearance of it. I have no pretensions whatever to that kind of elegance which consists in tormenting a respectable man. My affections and wishes are unchanged, but one word from you will silence me on this subject forever. Every impulse of feeling should be guided by reason, and, in my opinion, exertion should always be in proportion to what is required, and you are never to stir out of doors till you can prove that you have spent 10 minutes of every day in a rational manner. You showed me how insufficient were all my pretensions to please a woman worthy of being pleased. I never could be so happy as you. Till I have your disposition, your goodness, I never can have your happiness. Such squeamish youths as cannot bear to be connected with a little absurdity are not worth a regret. Money is the best recipe for happiness. The loss of virtue in a female is irretrievable, that one false step involves in her endless ruin, that her reputation is no less brittle than it is beautiful, and that she cannot be too much guarded in her behavior towards the undeserving of the opposite sex. The power of doing anything with quickness is always prized much by the possessor, and often without any attention to the imperfection of the performance. I declare after all there is no enjoyment like reading. How much sooner one tires of anything than of a book. When I have a house of my own, I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library. Arguments are too much like disputes. I beg your pardon, one knows exactly what to think. How hard it is in some cases to be believed. And how impossible in others. Keep your breath to cool your porridge. Thank you for watching.